Welcome to Hiksun Drakon, here be dragons. So, today, taking a look at a video by an Elon Super-Fan. The channel is called Tesla Insights. He's got about 650 subscribers, about on my level. The video is entitled, Why SpaceX Starship is Key to Establishing a Mars Colony by 2030. I have issues with that little title right there. First of all, Starship is not key to establishing a Mars colony. It shouldn't even be a thought in anyone's head right now. There's so much that needs to be done when it comes to getting people to Mars. And I don't even think we should be getting people to Mars. It's a hellish environment. Mars and the moon are like equal, biologically speaking. It's a scientific outpost? Absolutely. A human colony? No. Mars is death. It is, people just don't understand, at least it doesn't seem like they understand everything that's involved in just how inhospitable Mars is. We can't even keep a city on Antarctica. We haven't done it. And we have outposts, people go, come back. We have yet to establish an actual functioning long-term city on Antarctica. And yet, people think we're going to go and start a colony on Mars in the next, 6, 7 years? No. Starship's not going to be human rated by 2030. I mean, this is pure insanity.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Anyway.
it is 2030.
Let's get going here.
SpaceX Starship 001 welcomes you to Mars. What an achievement. Simply put, it is mission success. When the first humans land on Mars, the question on everyone's mind will be, how did it all happen?
No. The question on everyone's mind is going to be, wait, we can't go outside? We are stuck in here? What if something goes wrong? Are we going to survive till morning? That's going to be what people are thinking about. Because that's what the reality of Mars is going to be. You're going to come down in a starship and either transfer to another starship or stay in the starship you're on. And that's going to be your existence for the rest of your life until they figure out how to get back. And even then, chances of heading back are pretty slim. It's just too much involved in that. I really don't think there will be return trips. But there's not going to be any going outside. I don't think anyone's, I don't think most of the colonists are not going to be given a spacesuit. They won't be allowed near spacesuits. Those things are too important and too easy to screw up and kill other people with. There's not going to be a big Mars city anytime soon. We're talking centuries till that could possibly happen. Or literally, the starship you came in, or there'd be another one that's dumped down. That is your existence from now on. That's going to be it.
In this video, you will get to understand how the SpaceX Starship is key to establishing a Mars colony. Who would not want to travel to our neighboring planet Mars?
Right here.
But make no mistake, a journey to Mars, which is 140 million miles from Earth, is only for the bold and daring. A majority of people believe that it is
No. The bold and daring are not the people you want going to Mars. The bold, the daring, the adventurous, they will go crazy. They'll lose it. The people you want going to Mars are the quiet, meek, introverted nerds. They're the ones that survive in their mom's basement in the corner with a little piss bucket when they're gaming, that are fearful to leave that chair. The people that are afraid of other humans, that think they'll burn up if light hits them. Those are the people you send to Mars, not the bold and the daring. That's just idiotic. You need people that can suit the environment, and the environment is going to be stuck in a little round container for most of your life. Maybe they'll hook up another one. You can go visit someone next door in their little tiny environment, but it's going to be kind of like living in the bathroom. You won't have a full, bedroom size. I don't think people understand. And there is no going outside. I mean, Mars is so inhospitable. You're just, you're going to be just there risking death at any point in time. Your habitat could pop. Should you be allowed to go outside, your suit could pop. Not pop, but leak. There's you not only have the pressure of, risking your lungs exploding, but cancer from all the radiation coming at you. You could freeze at any time should something happen. Your food, the nearest food, is like well over 8 months away. It's just, oh man, it's such a bad idea. We have so many better places. Titan is such a better place to go. The moon. The moon's a great place. It's equal to Mars. We might as well go there first. But Titan, absolutely. It's got an atmosphere. It's got a thick atmosphere, which means you can live there with just an oxygen mask. You don't need a big spacesuit. You need a really, really, really thick coat. Something with heaters and stuff in it, because it's really, really fucking cold on Titan. But you can live there without needing an entire spacesuit and worrying about exploding. Should your habitat get a hole in it, whoop-de-doo. There's more pressure from the outside. You don't have to worry about it all trying to escape. So as long as you have oxygen, you're kind of okay there. Plus, the atmosphere is so thick and the gravity is so weak that you could actually use like little glider wings on your arms and flap away and actually fly yourself somewhere. It'd be a little bit more advanced than that, but gliders, human-powered gliders, could be a real reality. You also have Venus, and we're still talking hundreds of years in the future, maybe 100 years. We could maybe do it now with a small scientific platform, a couple people and an airship. But there's points in Venus's atmosphere where it is similar temperature, similar pressure to Earth. You can't breathe the atmosphere, but as long as you have oxygen, you'll be okay, mostly. Mars is just such a bad idea. There's just no reason. We see another rocky planet and think, oh, Earth. It's like when I talk to people, they're like, it's like they think it's like the Atacama Desert or it's like Dubai and stuff. When it's like, no. Oh man, it is so nuts. They think of desert and they think Mars. It's like, yeah, with no atmosphere. I mean, it might as well not have one. Man.
Impossible for humans to
continue.
travel to the red planet. However, Tesla and SpaceX billionaire Elon Musk think otherwise. The tech billionaire perfectly understands that the journey to Mars will be difficult. Nevertheless, he is determined to make the journey to Mars a reality. At the center of all this is Starship, a spacecraft that is being developed by SpaceX. This massive spacecraft will lift off from the Earth's surface and travel to Mars. So what does it take to lift a 120 meters long and 9 meters wide stainless steel structure weighing more than 5,000 tons? The answer lies in the engines that will power the massive rocket. Starship is powered by 33 Raptor 2 engines that produce more than 16.5 million pounds of thrust at liftoff. With these figures, it goes without saying that the Starship's performance is unrivaled compared to other spacecraft. Mars colony.
Well, no, it could be. We're talking like this thing is a success. It still hasn't made it to orbit yet. It failed its little suborbital hop. So, people are kind of jumping ahead here. Will they get it going? Yeah, I think they will. But I don't think it's going to be like people are thinking. There's going to be a lot of issues along the way. And it looks like New Glenn has already beat it. They're already assembling New Glenn. So a lot of people are wondering how that's happening. And well, it's pretty simple. New Glenn is using that 40 years of data to build everything in a computer properly, instead of just yeeting things into the sky and seeing what happens. Because, well, NASA already did that. We already know. So we have these great, absolute, really, really accurate simulations and computer models and stuff of how physics works. And you can build a rocket in that and get it to the point of being ready to send it into orbit, and with a good degree of, feeling that you have a good degree of success, that it will go good. But, Elon, he's got to do everything newer and better, which is normally taking a step back a bunch of years. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about Mars. So let's continue.
Colonization is only possible if SpaceX's Starship project succeeds. It is currently the only spaceship capable of carrying humans to Mars. So what does it take to...
It isn't yet capable of that. Hey, You gotta roll it back a bit, buddy. We're not there yet.
Build a city on Mars. Firstly, human labor will undoubtedly be essential in constructing a city on Mars. The proposed timeline calls for the first human landings on Mars in 2030.
No.
It is reasonable to expect that the initial travelers will include astronauts, scientists, engineers, architects, and other experts to build a city capable of supporting human life.
No.
Elon Musk, the founder.
No, there's not going to be any building a city. Literally, it's going to be plopping down a couple of starships or something similar to that. You know, a habitat ready to go that they drop down on the planet. You know, probably multiples because several are probably going to go bad. And then getting your colonists to it somehow. You know, most likely the right way to do it, I'd assume, is to put them into it while they're above Mars and then drop everything together. Drop the habitat and the people inside all at once. And there you go. Building a city that's not what this is going to be. That's not what Mars is going to be. There's not going to be any building a city. Building a city would someday get down to the point of digging down and pressurizing a big rocky area like a lava tube or something. But still, there's no reason to put that effort into this. Mars can't be like terraformed. As far as we know, there's not enough just matter like water and gas like CO2 and stuff to create a strong enough atmosphere. Even if you nuke it, you know, and radiate the planet, it's still not. We have to take tons of comets, tons of them, hundreds of them, and just throw them and bombard Mars. And then we might be able to get it to a point. But here's the issue. It doesn't have enough gravity to hold on to that atmosphere. It doesn't have a magnetic field to stop, you know, the solar wind. And whatever atmosphere you do create is going to pretty quickly just get blown off right into space. And yeah, we can put up satellites that are big little electromagnets to try and stop it, but we still have that gravity issue. You would have to somehow increase the mass of Mars, which is then going to just fuck up its entire orbit. And you're talking a giant mess. It's not a place anyone wants to go. Scientifically, it's great, but that's about it. Like I said, there's better places. Just a space station would be a better place. So this whole 2030 idea and stuff, no. I mean, we're nowhere near ready. Like I said, Starship should not even be on our thoughts right now. The thought should be on mentally surviving there. I mean, we have things like winter over syndrome. People just going to Antarctica, you know, really committing suicide and stuff because of the depression and everything. And they can go outside. They're in larger environments and stuff. We can't even deal with that yet. We have to figure that out. The gravity is a major issue we have to figure out. You know, just how to do this when you're in an environment and at a place that is doing everything it can to kill you and more. Everything is trying to kill you. I don't think these people understand just how deadly Mars really is. But
Founder and CEO of SpaceX hopes to have the Mars city ready for human settlement by 2050. According to projections, approximately 1 million people will migrate from Earth to Mars, somewhere between 2050 and 2060. At this point, you might be interested to know how much does it cost to travel from Earth to Mars? According to Elon's tweet, he gives us a ballpark figure which reads, "Very dependent on volume, but I'm confident moving to Mars will one day cost less than $500,000 and maybe even below $100,000. Low enough that most people in advanced economies could sell their home on Earth and move to Mars if they want." Other than transporting humans, the SpaceX Starship will also have to transport payloads to Mars. The first payloads will carry supplies that are needed for human survival, such as power generators and life support systems. The SpaceX spacecraft is so powerful that it can carry up to 150 metric tons of payload in interplanetary flights. For the city to be well built, you can be sure that it will require a very high volume of building materials to be transported to Mars. One does not need to be an architect to know that building a city is a complex and difficult task. Think of the fortune spent to convert Dubai from an empty
God.
desert into one of the most luxurious cities in the world. The case will be no
Dubai is not Mars. Man alive. Dubai has a breathable atmosphere. It has a pressurized atmosphere, so your lungs won't explode nearly instantly. It has water. There are humans nearby. I mean, there's resources. It's things don't need to be flown in for 8 months through the vacuum of space. It's just, oh man, it's warm. Like, you aren't gonna instantly like freeze. Should you not die immediately of your lungs exploding? Doing that whole total recall thing with your eyes popping out, which is basically what's happened. You don't have to. I mean, you can sleep on the sands of Dubai as they were building it. You don't have to sleep in your little container, waiting every night for your thing to just wake up exploding. I just when people say stuff like, "Oh, they did it." Dubai, they have zero concept of how deadly Mars is. It's not like an adventurous place that, is going to be difficult to survive in. It's literally trying to kill you. Every aspect of it, from the soil and all the percolates, to the lack of atmosphere, to the lack of oxygen, the temperature, everything's trying to kill you. The gravity, the sun, all the radiation coming from the sun. It's all trying to kill you. Oh, man.
no different for Elon's city on Mars, except that it will be way more expensive. So how much will it cost to build a permanent settlement on Mars? Elon himself has tweeted that it will cost somewhere between 100 billion and 10 trillion US dollars.
10 trillion on the low end, like really low end. Like we have engineering projects here and, well over that. This is on the low end for like the wish.com version of a Mars colony. Even though, I mean, that's just, there's no reason to even talk about that because a Mars colony is dumb. It's stupid. It's going to get most people there killed. A scientific outpost, yes. A Mars colony, no. We have better places. The moon, a space station, Titan, possibly Venus. Mars is just, I don't know why we see rocky planet and think like, oh, we can go live there. This isn't like, the olden days of going across the ocean to, the new world. This is heading to death. There is like, I don't know what people think. Like you can't go outside. You will be stuck in this little container for however long, and they aren't going to be sending you back. The cost involved in that, not for a large scale colony like that. So once you go, you're stuck there. I mean, someday maybe we can start tunneling under Mars, and pressurizing those tubes and stuff. But we're still talking centuries in the future. This right now, no. Titan, yes, maybe. That's still good amount of death, but it's still a so much better target than Mars. So much better.
But one city won't be enough, as Elon plans to build multiple cities there. During an annual International Mars Society convention, which was held in July 2022, Paul Wooster, principal Mars development engineer for SpaceX, revealed SpaceX's plan for Mars when he said the idea would be to expand out, start off not just with an outpost, but grow into a larger base. Not just like there are in Antarctica, but really a village, a town growing into a city, and then a
Antarctica. I mean, there we go. Like, that's where you start. Instead of thinking about Starship, Elon and his buddies, even though they shouldn't because there's no point in going to Mars, like I said. But if there was a reason to really go there and make a colony, the first thing he should be doing instead of Starship is trying to build a freaking city in Antarctica. One that he can keep alive for even just 5 years. Let's say 500 people in it, 1,000 people maybe. Just a small fractional city. And see, can he do that? I don't think he could. No one's even tried it yet. I mean, Antarctica's not a good, fun place. But that's where you start. Then, if that goes good, then you go to the moon, and stay on the moon for a couple decades, at least, before you even consider going off, say into a space station, because you have to build your ferry system to get to Mars instead of starships coming and landing and stuff. The way the Martian did it is better. You have just a constant thing, this little train basically going in circles, going and come back and going and coming back, instead of having to launch all these ships there and back. And I don't think they'll be coming back. But like I said, the entire thing is moot because there's no point to go to Mars other than scientific research. But still, this is not how you do it. This is just hype. I mean, this is what Elon does. He comes up with ideas and he gets people interested in it, but they're just stupid, dumb, idiotic ideas that don't really happen, And then it becomes something else. I mean, they're already trying to brand Starship as the, as the Starlink distribution vehicle. So he's already trying to separate himself from Mars a bit. But thanks for destroying astronomy, which is where we're going to be headed to. If you actually need ships this big to expel your satellites into space, that's a little insane, the amount of them that he's going to be needing. But yeah. All right, let's continue. We got almost 2 minutes.
Multiple of cities on Mars. All these plans mentioned earlier would not have been possible without the brilliance of the SpaceX engineering team. Think for a moment about the amount of fuel that needs to be carried on board for the 6-month journey to Mars. To make the travel to Mars more efficient, Starship will be using liquid methane and liquid oxygen as fuel instead of using rocket-grade kerosene. The methane will act as the fuel while the oxygen will be the oxidizer. Although Mars colonization is expensive, the SpaceX team has reduced the cost significantly by developing a fully reusable rocket. Think of what the price of an air ticket would be if aircraft such as Boeing 777 could only be used once. It is good news to the entire space industry that the SpaceX Starship can launch and land on several occasions, like a commercial aircraft. In case you're doubting the capability of the SpaceX Starship, you need to have a look at some of the strides that SpaceX has taken. Today, SpaceX can comfortably send cargo and ferry several astronauts to the...
That's not the Starship, though. That's Falcon. And it's a human-rated vessel. The Starship isn't even near becoming human-rated yet. I don't think it's going to happen before 2030. I mean, that's a pretty big task. But, yeah, you're talking Falcon, not Starship. Starship has yet to even make it to orbit. So we got to step back here and come back to reality. Until we do it, let's keep it as potentially, possibly.
The International Space Station from Earth. Elon Musk's SpaceX has also won a $2.9 billion contract from NASA under the Artemis II project, which involves sending humans to the moon again. At the center of it all is the gigantic SpaceX Starship rocket, which is greatly revolutionizing the space industry. Do you think the SpaceX Starship has what it takes to take humans to Mars? Will Musk ever conquer Mars? Let us...
Oh, sure. It might be able to get people to Mars if it is, if it continues on through its, through being built and stuff, and, they don't just change focus and decide it's not worth doing, which is quite a possibility. But Mars, no. Like I said, there's no point to go to Mars. Mars is bad, evil, death. It's just so dangerous. It's anti-everything in life, basically. They just don't seem to understand how deadly it is. I mean, this when you get comparisons to Dubai. Oh, man. So, yeah. And you can tell this is a little issue I have. We need to start somewhere. Elon's getting interest into this, which is great, generating interest, but it's also dangerous and it's going to backfire because it's going to fail, okay? It's not going to happen. It's going to take a while, and people don't like to wait. So it's quickly going to go from Mars, awesome, science, cool, to science, bad. They lied to me again. And this is where it's going to go. This is like so many people are turning against science just because of the way the press does stuff, used to do stuff, pushing, headlines that weren't really accurate and stuff. And, all this stuff never really being real and just getting on people's nerves. And now here's Elon doing this stuff, and he always has these great ideas, but in the end they don't happen, or they're scaled back and not exactly what he claimed. And the Mars thing, people are, when something does happen, and someone actually talks about a moon colony or Titan colony or a space station. Space station is a lot more realistic. People are going to be like, yeah, right. I mean, he's helping to create that anti-science sentiment, which, given his latest rantings and ravings, is kind of in line with the way his personality is going. I wouldn't be surprised if Elon, pretty soon turned up and claimed space was fake, or it's all water up there. Anyways, that's what I got for now. I'll be back here with some more videos soon. I might be out for a day or two, possibly. I'll try to keep people up to date. I might do some live stuff early in the mornings, but I've got a couple things I need to do. So, anyways, have a great day.